Moved from Turkey to the US, here's the reason why. Thought America was cool, guess I was high. Maybe it was the food that I was attracted to. 70 types of Oreo made me an Ameriboo. Joined TYT, then left it, started streaming. Spent half of my time banging my desk and screaming. But just when you think you've got me down and out of ammo, that's when I turn around and hit you with an effing blammo! Blammo! Blammo!
I said it.
With an effing blammo.
That's what that is.
With an effing blammo.
Blammo, blammo.
With an effing
Blammo, blammo, blammo.
That chest it up, that chest now. That chest it up, that chest it up, that chest it up, that chest it up. With an effing blammo.
There you go, dude.
Lips call me woke, bay, and fell in love with my face. Though my voice was soy, so I turned up the bass. Small head, bad takes, the haters said. Not as bad as their moms got it when I took them to bed. Getting shit on for trying to prove there is no schism between our capitalism and our imperialism. Screw it.
I'm saying it.
24/7, here it comes. America deserved 9.
Blammo, blammo, blammo.
I said it.
With the effing blammo.
That's what that is.
With the effing
Blammo, blammo, blammo.
With the effing
Blammo.
There you go, dude.
That chest it up, that chest now. That chest it up, that chest.
What's going on, everybody?
That chest it
I hope
up,
everyone's having a
that chest
fantastic
it up,
evening,
that
afternoon, pre-noon, no matter where you are in the
Those
world.
stars breaking hearts, bending
I'm HasanPiker, and this is the HasanAbi broadcast coming to you live from sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. We're live and alive, and I hope all the boys, I hope all the girls, and I hope all the MBs are having a fantastic one, because today is a beautiful day. Today is a wonderful day.
managed to lift us. Last bars come.
Today
You'll miss it, don't be
is
approaching the ad break at the top.
Thursday, April 20th. It's 4:20 blaze up, April 20th, 2023. And I'm live and alive. It's 1:27 p.m. and it's a beautiful day here in sunny California, Los Angeles, folks. It is 75 degrees out here, and the vibes are immaculate, like it's a Friday, even though it's not a fucking Friday. It's, as a matter of fact, a Thursday. Anyway, live and alive, and I hope you guys have had a wonderful time. This is part of the broadcast where I tell you a little bit about my personal news, about what's going on in my life. This is for all my parasocialists out there, and this is what I did in between the time period where I pressed stop streaming and pressed start streaming. That's right. So let's get right into it. What have I done? What have I done? Last night I ended the broadcast, and I went to play a little bit of basketball with Ted Nivision. That's right, Ted Nivision. And I blaze it. How high are you? I am not high at all. Leftover chat is especially horny for the stash today. Nice. Yeah, I ended the broadcast. I ended the broadcast and I went to play basketball. It was probably one of the worst basketball experiences I've had in a long time since I started getting much, much better again. There was a dude who was like super try hard. I mean, he was going fucking bananas mode. He was going crazy out there. Like the type of dude that just, how do you describe it? Like the type of dude who's like really good, is incredibly fucking good, but still will like do everything he can to get real sweaty with it on the courts. Like anytime he's like about to like go out, like he'll drive the ball and then he'll fucking throw it on your knee. He'll try to bounce it off your knee if he's about to go out to try to kick it off on your end. You know what I mean? And that kind of stuff is like super dangerous, especially because like you can you'll end up like oftentimes like hitting the dude. You know what I mean? He's like fouling, that kind of thing. Like he's like aggressively fouling, yelling at his teammates, calling them pussies, all this shit, right? Super try hard stuff. And he's actually pretty good. So surprising that he was such a massive sweat. But Regardless, was he an old head? No, he was young too, which is usually what you see from old heads. But it was just like he was just starting shit for no reason. It was weird. I didn't like it. And he cooked us. I lost a lot, and I hit my toe, and I fucking hurt it really bad. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Ultimately, still got Ted out there. Theodore got him to do a little bit of sweating, a little bit of cardio, which I'm fond of, as you guys know. And then I went to bed. I woke up, and I did the Leftovers podcast. And while we were shooting the Leftovers podcast, I found out that I no longer have my Twitter verified check mark. Devastating. Dude, where's the dogs? That's still happening? Yes. I think the account that was impersonating me has been unfortunately suspended. RIP. I didn't know that was going to happen. Feels bad. I'll be more careful of like memeing along with my stands. So RIP in peace, you know? They didn't actually. I thought Auntie was just memeing. No, they did. They did get suspended, I'm pretty sure. They were talking smack about your basketball game on the latest Yard podcast. Wait, really? What were they talking shit about? That's weird. Especially because I destroyed Ludwig before. Anyway, what was I gonna say? I'll write out a fucking well-crafted blast-off tweet right now. But my cousin is about to be here. So that's exciting. Alec Baldwin's charges have been dropped. America is a shooting gallery and more. Get in now. Horson has been banned. What happened this time? Did he do a horsecock thing again? Dan Bongino left Fox News, which is devastating. Wait, really? It was another horsecock moment? Anyway, here, we're blasting off. No more verifications. It's 420. Alec Baldwin charges dropped. America's a shooting gallery and more. Horson is back. Freak series of people not doing their jobs and you're good, you're fine, you're free, but jailbreak one fucking switch and it's a slammer. He listened to a horse VTuber sucking cock, like actually? Wait, really? That's insane. The fuck's he doing? Anyway, what is this? Let's watch this thing. Fuck's this about?
Hasan would have 1v3'd you guys.
Hasan?
Yeah.
Definitely not. No.
Do you think he beats you 1v1?
Hasan lumbers like
yeah,
an oaf.
probably.
Does he beat you and Eamon 1v2?
No. Dude, 2v1 is bro. You just one person
just pass
runs
it.
away and you pass the ball to them.
Yeah.
Hasan is ogre magi,
Do you
but the
think
dumb head.
defense-wise, you hold him down pretty well?
Hasan?
Yeah.
No.
So if he scores, presumably,
I think this is a pretty fair assessment, other than like the jabs about me being ogre magi or whatever. I think a lot of people underestimate that I do have a light touch due to my unathletic stature when I was younger, especially. So I have a decent fucking I have a decent shoot, a decent shot, a decent shooting capability.
Dude, if he knows how to post, I can do nothing.
Yeah, so 1v2, if he scores and make it, take it.
The issue is
How do you
most
stop
of
him?
Hasan's
Yeah,
shots
but
will
eventually
probably.
he's gonna get double teamed, and eventually he will shoot and miss, and then all
Yeah.
of a sudden he's against 2 people. It's just
And then-
like
and the
2v1.
Aiden's team
This
will
is a
be
ridiculous
just
question.
doing layups.
I
over
think he
and
could
over.
beat you 1v2.
No, this is
I think I
so
could beat them
ridiculous.
1v2
It is
potentially, but it is very hard, for the record. I think it is very hard. As long as I maintain ball control, I could probably beat them. But it is very, very, very hard. It's very hard to beat anybody 1v2 because they're right. Especially if they can shoot, for example. If they have a decent shooter on their team, then I have to get up close and personal and guard them. And if that happens, then the other person will always go back to the paint and you just pass it down to them. And I'm running back and forth in between 2 players. It's going to be a very difficult endeavor. If they can't shoot, then 2v1, not the hardest. It won't be the hardest. Law, we talked about stealing art yesterday, and today I see someone stole my design you wore yesterday. KW, RIP, I still agree with you, by the way. There's no way you win 2v1. You'll never get a shot out. One person in between you and the basket, the other pressuring the ball. No, you're wrong about that. Dude, are you kidding me? I am not only tall, but I'm also very big. Therefore, I always get pressured. I always get, what the fuck? You almost got fat albino monkey. Oh my God. I can always post up, and I do have a decent floater. I can shoot. I can shoot well. So, I got that going for me.
Ridiculous.
You're coming at me like I've hit
Wait,
you.
is Aiden second his brother?
How good does a player have to be? Yeah.
Do they have a
To play basketball,
DNA
beat you
link?
1v2,
Yeah, how good did that have to
the
be?
player has to be good enough to
Never miss their shots.
shoot over a double team and make it every time.
I can do that. I give it a 2v1. I give it for a 2v1 against 2 people, I'll give it a 50-50 shot. That's it. I give it a 50-50 shot.
That's how good they have
They
to be.
could
Actually,
never defend your
they
shot
only
once.
have to make it.
No, because
50,
your
over 50%
teammate
of the
just
time.
runs
No, I guess
away and you
I
pass
guess
it
they
to them.
could. I guess they could just like fast break on you and lay up, and you can't double team. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they could just
Well,
like.
if you take either side, there's no way to fast break. They have to
LeBron-
just
Raid said you're not bad. He thought you were only going to post, but he said you have a nice fadeaway and can shoot. Yes, I do. I have a good shot. I have a decent fadeaway. I am lethal from the key. Okay. High post. High post, I'm fucking devastating. I mean, this doesn't count. Like, I played with a handicap. I played left only, and I destroyed him. I cleaned him out.
First of all,
But it's Blau. You know what I mean? Like, it's same with Ludwig. Like, if we're talking about someone who's just like, playing for funsies every now and then, once every 5 years, that's different. Yes. Charlie was also saying you're super good. Yeah. I'm not bad. I'm actually not bad.
I just can't shoot anymore. I have no shot anymore. So like whenever I try to like, just shoot it in on him, like I was hitting the rim. I was getting close. Like whatever. But I just have no shot. He's also like, I'm also pressured when I'm shooting because, you know, I'm fucking trying to huck it over Mount Everest. And then when I actually tried to drive on him, the fucking Attack on Titan theme plays. I get out my fucking whatever grappling fucking guns, and I'm trying to like scale this guy like I'm Levi, trying to fucking climb up just to fucking lay up a basketball. Fucking multiple of the fucking torpedoes. Trying to fucking, I'm literally Aaron Yeager fucking scaling up a fucking, you know, Titan. And then he literally would just swat it.
Rage is a D3 tier basketball player, so his opinion on you is pretty impressive. I have no fucking recorded footage of me playing decently well on the internet, so if he still thinks that I'm decent, that's great. Most of the shit that everyone has seen of me playing basketball is just my bricks. I'm bricked the fuck up, okay? So, you know, that's
when
great.
I got up there, it was fucking awful. I got smoked.
You barely get off the ground when you jump, though. Anyone over 6 foot who is decent will be able to block your shot. Yeah, that's, you know, not entirely true because I have a good fadeaway. Anyway, what is the rest?
Push through.
LeBron without even shooting from the 3-point line is going to win.
Yeah, but he has enough weight and competence with his dribble that it's like going to be fine, right? Like sure, and probably like a D1 college player could do the same.
On LeBron.
On LeBron?
This is the opposite question. What's the
2v1.
best player?
I think if my little brother cherry picks on the other side of the court, we can probably make a basket on LeBron.
Full court 2v1 is insane. Could you take Duke 1v1 or not? I have never seen Duke play. I tried watching how the AMP boys play. Unfortunately, RDC fucking cut that footage like it's the Zapruder film, okay? RDC cut the RDC versus AMP basketball video like in a way that if they had cut the JFK assassination like that, people would literally not even think that JFK was assassinated, okay? It was insane. Like, the way that they cut that fucking video, I was trying to figure out, like, is Duke good? You know what I mean? I was trying to figure out these things, and I could not fucking figure it out because they edited it to shit. Like, they edited it so much. It would literally be, like, mostly RDC pushing, you know, the good offensive maneuvers or the good defensive maneuvers they have. And then they would, like, pin the camera to the scoreboard for a second, and it's, like, 17-3. AMP's winning. I'm like, what the fuck? This looks like an entirely different game. They made a propaganda film. Doc would destroy all these people, including you and Rage, little bro. Yeah, no shit. Dr. Disrespect played D3 and he's 6'8". Of course he would. I don't know if it's easier or worse full court. I'm going to be honest. I don't know if it is easier to play 2v1 against someone like LeBron full court or if it's worse. I actually don't know. It could go either way. I'm not even kidding. LeBron James always lying for no reason. What is this? Well, guess my blue check mark will be gone soon because if you know me, I ain't paying the $5. This account is verified because they're subscribed to Twitter Blue and verified their phone number. What? Dude, what? Okay, stop. Stop. It's probably a fluke. Here's Duke playing.
The last 2-3 weeks, y'all just cheating like a mother. I can do this. You can't do this.
Uh-oh. Right off the jump, my man is wearing pants, okay? This means one of two things. Either he is lethal, an assassin, or he's dog shit. Whenever I see a dude wearing pants on the courts and more often than not, it means that they're dog shit. But this could be the one unique instance where he's got just lethal capabilities, and he doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah. That was, bro. Hey, bro, I can call me down in the hole. Get off me. Get off me. Bro, I can call foul every time, bro.
Let's see. Great shot. He's got a great shot. And it was a fucking, like, oh, it was barely contested, but I know it was a contested shot. That's great.
Wrench is on.
Let's see what else he's got. Oh yeah, no, he's good. Yeah, no, he's very good. He's got a great shot. He can dribble well. He's got good ball handling. He's probably strong too. I mean, he seems very athletic. Stop talking like you know anything about basketball. This is so embarrassing. I would cook you full court. You have no stamina. Shaking my head. Zooming guy, dude. You would be very shocked. No. Everybody thinks because I used to have no fucking stamina, which is true, that like they think that I got nothing. Like I got nothing in the tank. No, man, I can keep up now. Oh, he's just like me, dude. Look at him. He's just like, yeah, that's not gonna go in. Fuck it. Good defense. Good defense, Duke. He's like, yeah, whatever. Playing no D. To be honest, you could not hang in Chicago. Your ass getting kicked off the court. Probably. I mean, I don't know. I play in Los Angeles courts, okay? I don't know. I don't know what California, or I don't know how Chicago ball looks like. I've never even really played in Rucker Park either, so I don't know. I don't know how New York is either. People take pickup games too serious, like NBA scouts are watching. Yeah, I know. I hate that. I just want to play for fun, and I want to get like a good workout out of it, you know? I mean, these guys are all pretty good. Like, this is definitely better. This is definitely better basketball than what we had seen when we were watching the RDC AMP video. Like, they're...
We just punished you 2 times last week. We just punished you 2 times last week. Pass back too.
Stop it. You just counting on your wins though.
No.
You been kicking my ass.
Yeah, you been on. I'm gonna tell you who been with you. Fucking crazy.
Okay, I want to see more of him. What the fuck? Yeah, he's very good. He's fast. He's got decent ball handling. I don't know what his like. I can't tell from a game like this what his game IQ looks like if we're playing fucking 5v5 or anything like that. But he's got all the basics down really well. Like, he probably cook my ass. He's much faster than me, I assume. He would probably, you know, playing a bunch of scrubs. No, the people that decent Duke would break your ankles. I'm saying from like the incredibly limited fucking videos that I've seen, he's very good. He's like really fucking good. And I'm also admitting that he would probably, I don't think any of these guys are scrubs, for the record. From, again, the limited amount I've seen. I mean, look. This is great. Here. That was a terrible shot, but the shot looks great. Look at that. His shot is really good. It's very clean. Like, he has a really good shot. Only dumbasses look at a fucking fadeaway 3-pointer like that and go, oh, it airballed. He obviously sucks. It didn't go in. It's not. I'm not looking at whether or not he's going to make it, dummies. I'm looking at his fucking form, and his form is great. He has a great shot. And a lot of these other guys are pretty good too. Wait, what the fuck? That dude got Oh my God, bro. Yeah, people are like, these guys are scrubs. Meanwhile, this dude is flying. Look at that. Look. Look at that. That's insane. How many people in here you think actually play ball? I'll put it at like 5 to 10% of chat, maybe. People don't understand there's playing basketball knowledge like you have and watching basketball knowledge. You obviously know what you're talking about. Yes. Anyway, let's. He dunked on someone? What? Okay, that's like that's an 8-foot, right? That's an 8-footer. There's no fucking way. What the fuck? Oh, it's one of those it's trampolines. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck? You should try that out. I don't know how to play on that shit. Chat, why are you getting so aggressive about basketball? It's not political. So chat thinks this is not like in my realm of commentary where I'm like knowledgeable or have demonstrated that I know what I'm talking about. So they just think that like this is an area. It's like video games. When I have like good takes about video games, chat will still go along with the narrative that it's bad just for the purpose of like debating it because they can't get it in like politics where I slam on them. So anything that's outside of the field of politics, when I'm doing commentary on it, they're like, this is my opportunity to fucking, own him. Puppy stream on Sunday? Yes. And also chat does like winding me up. When it comes to sports, there are a lot of couch all-stars who have perfected the game. Yeah. I am going to vlog it and then I'm going to stream it afterwards, hopefully. There are some additional things that have happened, unfortunately, that might put a cudgel in the plan. But my goal is to vlog the puppy extraction. I'm not going to stream it because, like, I don't want this fucking random family to get, like, doxxed and shit. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to give... that's the reason why I've, like, kept it very private as well. I don't want you guys to, I'm not gonna give any information because I don't want motherfuckers to just like lose their shit. I know that there are a lot of people both in my hater community and in my stan community that can't control their fucking urges, and they behave in the same way that they do towards me, towards others who I interact with in the normie space, and I am not going to do that. Just vlog it if they're fine with it. Yeah, even in the vlog, I'm not going to show the people at all. Fucking Glenn Greenwald has proven how fucking deranged haters are doxers. Yeah. You see that your video you posted by the Elon Tucker interview was taken down? It was? I did not see that, no. People, I guess, like the porn stash on leftovers. So, love that. LeBron decided to drop a play for himself after the timeout. He's had enough.
So this is something Darvin Ham talked to us about prior to the game, that, hey, if LeBron James has a really good idea out of a timeout, yeah, we're going to run it.
And, he backed it up right there.
There you go. The GOAT. LeGoat. Actual video of Duke windmill dunking? No shot. That's insane. I mean, yeah, he'll destroy me. I would love to play with him though. I love playing with people that are better than me. But yeah, he's Baby windmill? Bro, he's a casual, dude. What the fuck are you talking about, baby windmill? You can't even windmill dunk into the fucking trash, the crumpled jerk-off napkin you have in your hands. Shut the fuck up. That's insane, dude. Bitch, do any kind of windmill. Exactly. Why are people like this? Why? What the fuck? This is incredible, dude. I think people basically watch NBA and think like their understanding of like basketball is just like completely warped, and they don't play on the streets, so they have no idea what like the average person's capabilities are. So they have no way of like assessing how they would behave against like someone who has played organized professional basketball his whole fucking life. Come on, man. Yeah, I mean, he's great. Look, I'd love to play with those guys. Mark Phillips, fucking respond to my text messages, bitch. We were supposed to set something up for DreamCon. What's going on? That's all I got to say. He was like super stoked. Yeah. You're not blazing today? No. I don't play basketball at all. Play football, soccer, a shit ton, and even I know that was impressive. Yeah. Yes, I'm planning on going to DreamCon, unless it conflicts with other things that I have going on. And we're supposed to ball when I'm there. I am very excited about that. The basketball video with Charlie will come out soon. Depends on Ostenox. When he's done impersonating me on Twitter, hopefully he can fucking whip up an edit and you know, put it on the page on the second channel. We're waiting. Was Charlie any good? Yeah, he's pretty good. I mean, he's got a decent shot. He's very good at ball handling. You know, he is good.
Tell everyone.
Oh, by the way, all right, let's get to the news. In the least surprising bit of news of all time, another HasanAbi certified lock, another I called it moment. Charges have been dropped against Alec Baldwin in the Rush shooting. Yeah, of course they have. That was an insane thing to even fucking add, you clout demon prosecutor. Okay? You're contradicting yourself by saying people don't have an understanding of regular ball players versus NBA, but you think you can win a 1v2? Yeah, I said I have a 50-50 shot depending on whether I can control the ball the entire time. That is the most reasonable assessment of all time. What do you mean? If it's a half court game, not full court, and I have ball control the entire fucking time, like I'm posting up and you know, taking decent shots, because I do have a good you know, I do have a decent fadeaway from the top of the key, especially, you know. So if you're winning, you'll win, is what you're saying? Well, because people make it seem like it's a 100%. They're like, oh yeah, you'll definitely lose is 2v1. And I'm saying that's not the case. I can try it. Like I'd be down to try that out. I probably lose, but like I said, it's entirely dependent on how much control I have. Like if I lose the ball, then it's entirely dependent on how well they can shoot. Because otherwise, I'm just going to do like a single man zone and just cover the paint and let them take outside shots with the hopes that they miss and then keep controlling the ball. Anyway, we're moving on from this, though. We're done. We're going to get back to this fucking clout demon DA or clout demon prosecutor who, you know, decided to add Alec Baldwin to the fucking crime. Goes to show how little they give a shit about crime in general. Well, you know, crazy. Absolutely unimaginable. Like, can you imagine if I was like, yeah, going forward at the top of the hour, you know, subscribers are also going to see the 3-minute ad breaks. You'd be like, no, that's fucked up. You know, there's a rule of law here. It's fucked up. But don't worry. At the top of the hour, there is a rule of law. There's law and order. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe. But there is a 3-minute ad break coming for you regardless at the top of the hour, right? It's only 3 minutes. Maybe you can eat it. Maybe you can watch it. Sometimes it's shorter. But you can avoid it by getting gifted a sub as well. A Terrible Stranger and DNO404, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Collectively giving 10 people the opportunity to avoid the ads at the top of the hour. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. I saw on Twitter you're selling laptops, greedy ass socialists. I hate this meme. I just straight up hate this meme because I like don't know if my account has actually been fucking hacked and you guys are like memeing, or if it's someone impersonating me, and it seems like it's someone impersonating me again. Oh, for the record, the I'm gay tweet already got clapped. Unfortunately, Azan the Hun got suspended. I feel bad. That was not my intention. So be more careful. That was me, lol. This is Austy's PFP for you. Yeah, I saw. I know. I hope he doesn't get clapped. Anyway. Yeah, but let's get to the Alec Baldwin news.
Hello, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. We are coming on the air with some breaking news this hour. We have just learned that all charges are going to be dropped against award-winning actor Alec Baldwin. This comes on the day that his movie Rust was set to resume following that fatal on-set shooting. Our investigative correspondent, Aaron Katursky, joining us with more. What do we know, Aaron?
Kira, word came to us via sources just moments ago that the 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter against Alec Baldwin in connection with the shooting that killed Helena Hutchins on the set of Rust in New Mexico are going to be dropped. We now have a statement from Alec Baldwin's attorneys saying we are pleased with the decision to dismiss the case against Alec Baldwin, and we encourage a proper investigation into the facts and circumstances of this tragic accident. That statement from the attorneys for Alec Baldwin, Luke Nikas and Alex Spiro, just moments ago. Baldwin had been charged with those 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter that had accused him of ignoring safety standards that are supposed to be the protocol for movie sets. They also really said that Alec Baldwin was negligent as the lead producer on the film, and there were enhancements included in those charges, Kira, that would have called for some significant prison time had he been found guilty.
Yeah, that would have been insane. Like, that would have been absolutely insane. Guys, I talked about this at the time, and everybody got fucking mad at me, but like, as an individual actor, charging him for this is insane. As a producer, potentially, it's like almost a RICO in that regard, where like you have to prove like a deliberate attempt, and I guess you could do that technically. But here's your 2-hour take when these charges first drop. Yeah, I fucking talked about this endlessly, and motherfuckers yelled at me about it. I was like, there's no fucking way. What is this? Amazing. Rule number 1 of gun safety violated for a movie shot. That's crazy. Like, people were losing it, debating me on this over and over again. As I said, the Santa Fe district attorney was just an absolute fucking clout demon. I was right. And she ended up going on Fox News to talk about, to talk to Sean Hannity about it and stuff. It's just so silly. Chat was being so fucking dense during that discussion, painfully dense. Yeah.
Attorneys have always said, and Baldwin told ABC's George Stephanopoulos that he did not pull the trigger. That's not how he operates, and that he had no reason to believe that there would be a live round in the chamber of the gun. And now the prosecutor in New Mexico has dropped those 2 counts of involuntary manslaughter.
He owned the production company El Dorado. They cut safety corners. If you advocate for Norfolk Southern to be held criminally liable, how is this any different? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? Do you understand what I said? I said cost cutting, corner cutting is absolutely something you could get him on and hold him potentially criminally liable, okay? But like the operational procedures here that he paid for as a producer that are relatively simple operational procedures that the armorer should have fucking followed through on, they didn't. Okay, a lesser known producer would have probably been blacklisted and charged. No. You're wrong. Cost cutting and that stuff would not be warrant criminal liability. No, in the world that we live in, cost cutting does not warrant criminal liability. Okay? That's the difference. There's a difference between what I think should happen versus what I know will happen. Okay? When I'm talking about what I know will happen, yes, I knew and called that like it was insane to fucking criminally consider him criminally liable. People tried to make the argument that like, you know, actors should actually unload the gun and check it themselves. Why would the fuck would there be an armorer or a person handling these lethal props if that was the case? The moment that a fucking actor handles the gun themselves, you already have destroyed that. You've destroyed the safety measures that are put in place in the industry. I had this argument over and over again, and for some weird reason, people refuse to see it. Okay? Yeah. Decent take, but like they didn't charge him for negligence because of his company. They charged him personally for manslaughter because he pulled the trigger. Exactly. It was silly. It was stupid. It was a ridiculous fucking charge. Okay? Forgot you put white celebrities on a pedestal. I am going to get on the set of Rust to be the next person that Alec Baldwin pulls the trigger on. If this is the audience I've cultivated for myself, okay? It is absolutely unimaginable that like people just see shapes, colors, and sizes. They are so used to arguing on the internet, not on the virtue of what is truthful, what is correct, but instead immediately, oh, he's white. Fuck Alec Baldwin, okay? Suck my fucking dick, you dumb bitch. Shut the fuck up. I do not give a fuck about Alec Baldwin, okay? If you think I'm defending Alec Baldwin here because he's some white celebrity, you are the most delusional moron I have ever seen in my entire life. Okay? Just remember, it's a loud minority of your community. I know, and I wish that they just did not exist in my fucking community. Or if they were going to exist in my community, they just knew to shut the ever-loving fuck up. Okay? Especially when they're in the fucking wrong. Huh. You don't know anything about how these sets operate. You don't know the protocols. You didn't listen to me when I talked about it extensively. And of course, you're in here. Oh, it's a new account, Andy, auto-flagged by the system. Hard to say it's a community member. Yeah, it's probably fucking a dumbass coming in here with a sock account to like stir shit up. This is what like a lot of pathetic losers do because they have nothing better going on in their fucking lives. Anyway. I used to get annoyed when you started going at people, but since watching the deprogram interview, I've realized how much you practiced this shit over years, and I cannot know. What? Anyway. Alec Baldwin cutting corners on safety protocols and it leading to an innocent woman dying. He was a producer on the set and he should be held liable. I don't have a disagreement with you there. I think that cost-cutting measures, especially when the fucking unionized producers are literally, or the unionized people that are walking. I heard you patternized, Gideon. Is this true? Just clearing doubts? Patternized. Bro, y'all are not even trying. I had like a fucking almost hour-long conversation with Gideon. Like, I talk to Gideon all the fucking time. No, I didn't patronize. I think the word you're looking for is patronize, okay? Which is like I big broed him, okay? That's what the word you're looking for. And that is for... Take a week off. It's from like last year.
The special prosecutor in the case had already resigned, and now we learn that the whole case against Alec Baldwin is going away. Kira.
And our Kana Whitworth out of Los Angeles now. Kana, what does this mean for Baldwin's co-defendant and ex-Rust armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed? I mean, charges still stand against her, right? It looks like it's falling on her now.
Kira, you're exactly right. So while Baldwin is breathing a sigh of relief here, all things are still moving forward with this armor, with Hannah Gutierrez-Reed. Nothing has changed for her at this moment. She is facing this count of involuntary manslaughter, and she will still stand trial at this point. And again, that trial, the preliminary part of it is set to start on May 3rd. And so we have called out to the DA's office there. We are waiting for a statement from them, but we have not heard that yet. So again, as you mentioned, Kira, all things right now are falling directly in the lap of the armorer, Hannah Gutierrez-Reed, who still faces her charges. We also want to point out, too, that we, of course, can't forget about Dave Halls. He was in charge of safety on the set, and a reminder that he has already accepted a plea deal there. He was sentenced to 6 months of unsupervised probation for the negligent discharge of that firearm on the set of Rust. So as we watch this go forward now, all eyes there, of course, Kira, are on Hannah Gutierrez-Reed.
All right, Kana Whitworth, also our Aaron Katursky, thank you so much. I'm Kira Phillips. You can join me back on ABC News Live for more, and of course tonight on World News with David Muir.
In other news, we are now moving on to Elon Musk, who had a pretty important rocket launch, which unfortunately exploded and failed. As much as I hate Elon Musk, I don't hate the fucking engineers that work at SpaceX. They're working their goddamn best. Fuck Elon Musk and all, but I think the final frontier is achievable. It is well within our. It's something that we can. It's something that we should continue focusing on. I think it's a great thing overall. I'm a fan of SpaceX and what they do. It's all NASA JPL shit anyway. But at least it launched, so that's a bit of a success.
Following some breaking news this hour, SpaceX's Starship rocket.
I gotta pee. I'll be back.
The company is calling a quote rapidly unscheduled disassembly, which means to you and me, the launch was a failure. Short time ago, SpaceX launched the Starship rocket. The hope is that it will eventually take people to the moon and someday even Mars. CBS News space analyst Bill Harwood is at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida following this for us. Bill, thanks for joining us.
What happened?
Yeah, so tell us what happened.
Well, we're not sure yet what happened, but in the lead up to this launch, on SpaceX's webpage, they put a countdown up, and they said when it got to 0, excitement guaranteed. And it certainly was that. The rocket did take off, which was a major accomplishment. It cleared the tower. It appeared that a few of the 33 first-stage engines were not firing. Not clear if that's a malfunction or intentional. And then just before, it's really maybe a successful failure is one way to put it. I mean, it's the first flight of a rocket this big, biggest rocket ever built. And the fact that they got it up at all was fairly impressive. They'll learn from this and they'll try again.
I guess that is how this sort of stuff works, right?
But Elon Musk just tweeted, "Congrats, SpaceX team, on an exciting test launch of the Starship." Learned a lot 1 minute ago.
Oh.
Yeah, controversial opinion, but like, this is normal, and it's not bad, and it's gonna keep happening until it no longer happens. That's kind of how this works. You know what I mean? Fuck Elon Musk, but you know, yeah. Welcome to aerospace engineering. Exactly. I don't know. Like, as much as I love shitting on Elon Musk, the reality is that this is how these kind of launches work. And this is part of the reason why, regardless of how much fucking people hate Elon Musk, even people like my brother will still say, at the very least, SpaceX is like able to make these kinds of things without additional government scrutiny and oversight as a private company. That is the one advantage that SpaceX has over NASA, because a lot of people look at this and go, what a big waste of fucking funds. Oh my God, another fucking spaceship blew up. And while SpaceX literally currently works with government funding, because it's done under the veneer of like a private corporation, people don't have that same level of scrutiny towards it. So SpaceX can get away with a lot of launch, with a lot of failures like this. And, that's how aerospace engineering works. There's a shit ton of failure until it basically works. And then it's no longer a failure. You know? L-Take. What is this? Environmentalists and Native American tribe rebuke SpaceX ahead of historic. Oh, yeah. There is this component, by the way. The issue here is that the place that they're actually launching from what I understand, is that SpaceX elected to build its launch site in the middle of a one-of-its-kind preserve for migratory seabirds, some of which travel thousands of miles to lay eggs there. So that element of it is like actually fucked up. I will say that is actually fucked up. Because anytime you do stuff like this, you have to be very careful. A big chunk hit a car parked nearby. Wait, really? What the fuck? Is that real? Lib take, to be honest? What do you mean? What's a lib take? They're deliberately under promising. So SpaceX doesn't take government money? No, of course they do. Of course they take government money. The thing is, they don't have the same scrutiny that NASA does because it's not directly funded by the government. Bro, back in the day, when all space travel was conducted in-house by NASA, the types of shit that congresspersons would get away with was absolutely insane. I wish for a world in which government funding and NASA could, keep doing what it's been doing. But unfortunately, people consider that to be, something that you can play political football with. Oh, why the fuck are we spending so much money on space travel when we got people that are dying on the streets, people that are starving, that kind of stuff? Reasonable arguments like that can be launched towards this kind of thing and was. And then there's also unreasonable arguments from the right. Bro, guys, I'll tell you something. There is a literal fucking congressperson who was in charge of NASA funding, who was a right-wing freak that actually literally flew in a spaceship, okay? Specifically because he was like, I personally think he wanted to do it. He was a pilot, okay? And I think he wanted to do it personally. And he used he used his power that he had in Congress to literally go and engage in space travel. Okay? No, it wasn't Mark Kelly, weirdos. Mark Kelly is an astronaut, so is his twin brother. I'm talking about a guy who was in Congress who had the power of the purse over NASA funding and literally was like, if you want me to, is it Bill Nelson? They call it, and he threw up so fucking violently. Was it No, it wasn't Bill Nelson. No. No. It's not Bill Nelson. No. I'm talking about, no. This is a totally different person. He vomited so violently when he hit he hit G forces that, I mean, when he hit like, yeah, I think it's Jake Garn maybe. Yeah. Hold on. I'm going to give you the full story. 1 second. Yeah. Okay, here. Edwin Jacob Jake Garn, born October 12, 1932, is an American politician and member of the Republican Party who served as a U.S. Senator representing Utah from 1974 to 1993. Garn became the first sitting member of Congress to fly in space when he flew aboard the Space Shuttle Discovery as a payload specialist during NASA mission STS-51D. So here's the real story behind it. He literally was the chairman of the Senate Banking Committee, and he asked to fly on the space shuttle because he was the head of the Senate Appropriations Subcommittee that dealt with NASA and had extensive aviation experience. He had previously flown a B-2 Spirit prototype and driven a new U.S. Army tank. He liked to play with toys. He began publicly asking NASA about flying on the shuttle, and the agency had long planned to fly citizen passengers, blah, blah, blah. But the real reason why they let him do it is because he wanted to do a fact-finding trip. I do really think that it's a necessity that congressmen check things out that they vote for and makes that certain funds are being spent adequately. Like, what the fuck are you going to do? It might be necessary to have a senator kick the tire. No, you just personally wanted to fly and engage in space travel, which is fine. It's, I mean, super sick. And this fucking asshole, ironically, cost NASA more money to be the payload specialist on board. But there's a funny end to this. It was launched and returned to land at the Kennedy Space Center, Florida. Its primary objective was to deploy 2 communication satellites and to perform electrophoresis and echocardiograph operations in space. Garn's role on the mission was a congressional observer and as a subject for the medical experiments on space motion sickness. At the conclusion of the mission, Garn had traveled over 2.5 million miles, logging over 167 hours in space. The space sickness Garn experienced during the journey was so severe that a scale for space sickness was jokingly based on him, where 1 Garn is the highest possible level of sickness. He threw up so much. Because he was not experienced enough to fly that they made a fool of him. So, yeah. Why am I telling you about this wonderful story? Is it simply to flex my knowledge on weird aerospace engineering facts? No. Well, yes and no. The reason why I'm telling you this is because congressional scrutiny was, and the political football that they played with funding NASA dramatically halted, in many instances, NASA's operations. It stood in front of science and scientific achievements in this field. Okay? This is why, unfortunately, in our current organization of the economy and how the American government works, that's why I say, or that's why at least engineers will look to someone like Elon Musk and see the benefits of SpaceX's existence. Okay? Because it is a private company, it does not have to withstand the same level of scrutiny, especially when they have instances where they have failure to launch or anything like that. Oh, by the way, this is a pretty fun fact. Upon his return, he co-wrote the 1989 novel Night Launch. The book centers around terrorists taking control of the Space Shuttle Discovery during the NASA USSR Space Shuttle flight. Forgot about that part. Now, of course, funding a private corporation like SpaceX can still be turned into political football, but it's less likely than NASA being directly funded, even if the funds are the same, if not more. I was talking to my astronomer friend, and he hates Elon, but because of what you said, he doesn't mind SpaceX because it's an improvement over the incredibly slow government machine. Yeah. No, exactly. This is what a lot of engineers say about it. As much as I hate Elon Musk, SpaceX undoubtedly helped the mission I worked on get launched on time rather than the other government contracts that were going at a glacial pace. Yes. A lot of the glacial pace that you talk about with respect to government contracts come from the reality that government funding is very delicate when it comes to scientific achievements. Government funding for oil subsidies, endless. You can literally light an entire oil rig on fire, knowing full well that 80% of energy subsidies are still going to your industry. Okay? But government funding for scientific pursuits is always a fickle bitch. So they have to stay and be very deliberate, be very careful, not to take any missteps. There's a lot of, you can't be imaginative. Okay? The slow government machine that went from farmers to space travel in one time USSR. My friend, I'm talking about the United States of America. Of course, I talk about how the USSR went from potato farming to beating the US in the space race. And don't forget the unpriced externalities from the oil industry. So much subsidy. Yeah. This dumbass country has spent hundreds of millions on underwater rodent husbandry. I hate the selective whataboutism that hogs and libs use to criticize funding. Yeah, but, everybody picks and chooses. Everybody hyper-focuses on what's in front of their fucking face. And, people do have the capacity to get, like, really, really, really fucking aggro when, like, manufactured outrage campaigns work. That's what I mean.
So it's 10:01. He tweeted that 1 minute ago. Does he not know, or is it what Bill is saying?
What Bill is saying, this is part of the process. You got to lose a few rockets.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, then.
Elon is in mission control down in Texas. He was there witnessing every bit of this, and he's been encouraging to the team all week. So no, I think he was saying congratulations because, he said before launch there was a very good chance that this would not succeed the first time out of the gate. As it turns out, he was right.
How is a rocket blowing up in the middle of the sky owned by the richest man on earth manufactured outrage? Wait, what? No, man. No, I'm not talking about that. I also have a different take on this. Like, this is the one fucking instance where perhaps it's because I have, a little bit more knowledge over aerospace engineering and what it takes to fucking, make cutting edge technology in this field. But, like, I have a different perspective on this, but what I was talking about with respect to manufacturing outrage is like, if this happens under NASA, every Republican's like, dude, why the fuck are we blowing up rockets when we could be blowing up babies in Yemen? You know what I mean? We need to give more money to Raytheon. Make sure we're making rockets that blow up not on U.S. soil, but blow up on Yemen, dog. Blow up on Mexican cartels. Like, do you understand? To be fair, the space industry is financially hand in hand with the defense industry. Absolutely correct. Their funding is often linked because the government contracts with Boeing, Raytheon, etc. Absolutely correct. I think it's fair to criticize if you tie it in with the larger military-industrial complex. Absolutely correct. Which, of course, dumbass chuds don't do. Yes. Notice how the only part Notice how the only part of this kind of scientific achievement, this kind of R&D that is heavily scrutinized, is the one that doesn't directly pertain to blowing up children. Yes, you are correct. You are correct. So yeah. Starlink has shown that Elon doesn't actually care about astronomy, just to show space travel. It messes up a lot of ground-based observation. Yeah.
So I think he was telling the team, great job for the effort, and they'll get a lot of telemetry out of this. And like I said, they'll try again.
Yeah, my comment about whether he knows was tongue-in-cheek.
I know.
I mean, it's just sort of like, I think for people who are watching it, when you say, it's hard for people to reconcile it.
WVU Couchburner said it best and succinct. And SpaceX is perceived as a private endeavor. They are able to spend the requisite funds to actually advance the field without getting cucked by pocket watching like the shuttle program was in the wake of the Columbia explosion. Yes. That's it. That's the point. That is precisely the point I've been making this whole time.
It didn't work it was successful, even if it didn't work.
Yeah, but failure, as we know, for most things that are hard to do, the road to success includes a lot of failure.
Sure.
That's how you get there. Though it seems like a very expensive road. How significant is this project? Why is Elon Musk spending so much time and energy and money?
I'm not saying this is a stunlock or a gotcha. I'm just new at this, and I would genuinely like to how we would arrive at something like SpaceX via a social or communist organization of the economy. Look no further than the USSR, which we also mentioned, collectivized over the course of, not through chattel slavery, but over the course of a much shorter period of time, and went from a nation of potato farmers who were in a state of disarray to a nation that was able to beat the United States in space travel. Never forget, USSR went to space first. Yuri Gagarin went to space first. We have literally the counter to that, NASA, here in the United States of America. Okay? So no. If anything, the only reason, many people will say this as well, the only reason why the United States focused so much on the space race was because of our endless battle against the USSR. Because in order to make life-changing, wide-sweeping, over-encompassing technological improvements, you need to think beyond the short-term financial gains that capitalism locks you into. Okay? Capitalism forces you into thinking about short-term profits over long-term technological improvements. And also, for the record, the norm is that space travel is government funded, not the other way around. But in the United States of America, we are so hyper-capitalist that we don't see anything other than our fucking noses, that we literally personally think that it's the opposite that's the truth. We were so cucked by the Soviets that we had to contract Nazis to help develop our mid-space program. First of all, that's Operation Paperclip, and there's truth to that, but the USSR did that too, okay? There was a lot of fucking rocket scientists that the USSR also took, a lot of rocket science on the Nazi side that the USSR also took advantage of. So don't act like that was a one-sided affair, okay? If the program was public, it would be extremely underfunded, so I don't understand this argument. Brother, something being crippled by underfunding does not mean the principle behind it cannot exist. That's why I said the norm with successful space programs, including historically successful space programs like the USSR's space program, is that the government funds it. Only in the United States of America is there a legitimate issue with government funding space travel. Okay? Hello. Anyway. Hi. Why is this always such a difficult subject matter to parse through without people understanding what I'm saying? I feel like maybe I'm not doing a good job as an orator.
Money on this.
You know what? Elon says that this rocket is the key to SpaceX's future. You know, the Falcon 9 has pioneered reusable rocket technology. We're all used to seeing that first stage come down for a landing. But the amount of cargo that it can carry is limited. The Starship, both stages are fully reusable, which will greatly reduce the cost of this system if they can make it work. Now, it's absolutely critical to SpaceX's long-range plans. It's also critical to NASA's. You know, the upper stage of this rocket that we saw launched today, SpaceX is building a variant of that stage for NASA to serve as the Artemis program's lunar lander. It's going to be carrying astronauts down to the surface of the moon in just a couple of years, if all goes well. It's a big question mark. Can they get there in time? Can they perfect this rocket in time to meet NASA's schedule? But it's an absolutely critical piece of equipment for both NASA and for SpaceX.
All right. Bill Harwood, always great to have you breaking it down for us. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, this is a complex industry that a lot of people have that come with preconceived notions, and there's valid ones too. Its ties to the defense industry is a valid point of contention. It's the conversation surrounding like why we're funding this when there's like fucking starving children in this country is a relatively reasonable one, but there are definitely areas where you can make that argument make a much better argument to take funds away from. So, you know, I think that a lot of the space travel technology that accompanies the technological achievements are secondary components, though. Like the military aspect or the military usage of NASA technology is not the immediate protocol. If it was the immediate reason, like if there was a war budget component to space travel, trust me, it would be significantly better funded and NASA would be in-house. It would not be outsourced to SpaceX in order to make these like wide sweeping technological achievements. The R&D would be subsidized and also handled in-house. That's the point. Most original tech was government driven? Yes. Apparently cordless drills were made by NASA and we all enjoy those battery powered tools? Yes. Also flammable material like or the shit that like firefighters wear. Velcro. Like there's so much. Or non-flammable material. Well, flammable and non-flammable is the same, isn't it? Flame retardant. Sorry. Flame R-worded material. Yeah. No, flame retardant material. Flame propagant.
Now to Andrew Lester. The white homeowner who is accused of shooting a black 16-year-old, Ralph Yarl, he pled not guilty yesterday to 2 felonies. Lester told police that he was scared to death of Yarl due to his...
So here's what it is. This guy, again, another fucking HasanAbi lock of the week, lock of the century, lock of all time. As soon as I found out about the details of the shooting, I was like, this is a fucking racist old guy, hopped up on fucking Fox News with a gun, terrified of his own shadow, and certainly terrified of, like, black people coming into his neighborhood. Turns out, of course, that was the fucking case. And you know, there it is. Once again, when you watch 24/7 Fox fucking News, this is the outcome. You move on to, like, more and more radicalizing content. You watch OAN, Newsmax, all the like, and you absolutely fucking lose your mind. Here we have it. There's a good comparison here, like from a personal anecdote from, where is it? Where's Krulge, who talked about this? Wait, did he delete it? Oh, he might have deleted it. Oh, I can't find certain tweets on my fucking timeline. It's very weird. I wonder if he deleted it personally, though. Oh, okay, here it is. My grandfather died with Fox News logo burned into the corner of his boxy CRT TV. A few feet away, he'd stashed a handgun he bought in his delirium to protect him from the immigrants and terrorists of Darboy, Wisconsin. Anyway, it's good that there's like 10 million of him now. Social experiment. I gave a bunch of mentally unstable people unlimited ammo while they slid towards dementia. Yeah. This is the unfortunate reality for so many people that are older, our elderly population, but it's also an unfortunate reality for even younger people. Younger, more and more middle-aged individuals are behaving like this. Okay? And his, of course, his this dude's grandfather. This dude talked about his grandfather openly. His name is Ludwig, by the way. I read this article earlier today. It's pretty good. It's pretty informative. It's exactly what you would think it is. Here, we'll go through it from the top. Fear and paranoia. Grandson says Andrew Lester bought into conspiracies and disinformation. And Christ. What? Oh. A grandson of the man charged with shooting a black teen in Kansas City, Northland last week said he was appalled and disgusted at his grandfather's actions and is thankful Ralph Yarl is recovering. I was horrified. I thought it was terrible, Clint Ludwig said of his immediate reaction to hearing about the shooting of the 16-year-old. It was inexcusable. It was wrong. Okay? I feel terrible for him, Ludwig said. He's 28 years old, of Yarl. And I'm really glad that he's doing okay. He's going to live. I know his life changed forever, and I'm really sorry. Do you want to know? Care to find out how he was absolutely radicalized? You know what? I'll let CNN cover it.
His size. Now, Lester, who is 84 years old, was released on bond. He is due back in court June 1st. Prosecuting attorney said there was a racial component to this case. Miraculously, Yarl is back at home, recovering from his injuries after 3 days in the hospital. This is a picture of him taken yesterday with his lawyer, Lee Merritt. So joining us now is Clint Ludwig. He is the grandson of Andrew Lester, and we always like to get a perspective on the thinking of someone who knows him, why they might do this. So, Clint, thank you for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Don. Good morning.
Good morning to you. So what is your reaction? What was your reaction when you heard that your grandfather shot Ralph Yarl for ringing his doorbell?
I was disgusted. I thought it was terrible. Myself and my family stand with Ralph Yarl and seeking justice. This is a horrible tragedy. It never should have happened.
Folks are going to want to know, why are you speaking out and apparently against your grandfather?
It's the right thing to do. This country happens over and over again where people get away with killing unarmed, innocent black people, and it's I would have had the same energy for any other case like I've had over and over again in this country, like I said. But so it's the right thing to do. People need to speak out and not make any excuses for this kind of behavior and this violence.
So you said for killing innocent black people, the prosecutor in this case has suggested that there was a racial component to it. Do you believe your grandfather is racist?
I believe he holds racist tendencies.
I think one of the best things he said, he sounds like a HasanAbi head. Yeah, that's what I thought too. One of the things he said that I find, very smart, okay, was this. Does he consider his grandfather a racist? He said, I believe that there have been some positions that he's held that have been bigoted or sort of disparaging. But it's stock Fox News conservative American stuff. It's anybody who gets an abortion is a murderer, and fatherless black families are the reason why crime exists in this country. It's stuff everybody's heard at the Thanksgiving table every year. He is a HasanAbi head? I mean, I don't know. Could be. It did feel like it a little bit, especially when I saw that. Because the baseline American position in a white supremacist country like the United States of America is kind of white supremacist. Okay? It's kind of racist. It's very commonly held. That doesn't mean that it's like, like not every person who is going to go out of their way and like be terrified of a black person and shoot them immediately is going to be outwardly like, a Klans member, like a card-carrying Klans member. They don't, like, that's the extra racist motherfuckers, okay? Like, Ethan got upset about you saying people are default anti-trans. I mean, that's the truth. It's just the truth. But it's what you make of that truth that is important. Yes, it's the same as like the default position towards black people in the country. Yeah, you either have apathy towards black people and you're like a little afraid of them, and there's like varying different tiers of that kind of like white supremacy manifesting within every single person, including even black people. Like, there's plenty of black people that also demonstrate anti-black behavior in this fucking country because they are a product of the white supremacist social conditioning. Now, you can understand that, and if you're trying to de-radicalize someone, use that to your advantage by not being immediately combative, especially if you're like especially if you are coming at it from a privileged perspective. If you're like not a black person, or if you're not a trans person, if you're talking to a transphobic person, you have the opportunity to come at it from a privileged perspective and just like, sidestep some of the initial transphobia or white supremacy to unwind people a little bit and unwind their perspective a little bit. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people don't know any better. A lot of people are just victim to the social conditioning and can be convinced. Anyway, so understand that.
And beliefs.
Why do you say that?
He's just a stock American Christian male. It's older, that's just how they are. It's the conspiracies and weird random racist things they say. Yeah, so
also, everybody's saying a white guy with cornrows, like he might be mixed for the record. Like,
makes sense, but they're just scared.
Chill.
Now, listen, you're generalizing a lot here about, you said older Christian white males, but
he looks like
what do you mean by
be.
that? What do you mean they're scared? Talk to me more, please.
Yeah, it's just I feel like a lot of people of that generation are caught up in this 24-hour news cycle of fear and paranoia perpetuated by some other news stations, and he was fully into that, sit and watch Fox News all day, every day, blaring in his living room. And I think that stuff really kind of reinforces this negative view of minority groups and leads people to be a little, doesn't necessarily lead people to be racist, but it reinforces and galvanizes racist people and their beliefs.
Okay, this dude is definitely... Okay. I'm not going to say anything.
Now, apparently...
but, you know, you're in here. This is a very good showing.
Correct me if I'm wrong, Clint. You said that your grandfather would say or do things, apparently that you did not subscribe to, that caused you to distance yourself from him. Say and do things like what?
That's right. A lot of it was the kind of QAnon level conspiracies about election denying, and then they got really weird with some Fauci dogs. I really didn't know what that meant, but I would push back on some of this stuff, and he couldn't handle being pushed back on. And at a certain point, we kind of lost touch, and I think it was more of his choice than mine.
Did he say or do things that you found offensive about?
Not every left-leaning person is a HasanAbi headman. Yeah, no, you're absolutely correct on that. You're absolutely correct on that. It's just like certain keywords that he's using is the reason why everyone in this community is saying, like, it sounds a lot like you know, he might be like
minorities
galvanized.
or people of color.
Yes, he would say some things. I think I can't remember exactly now all that happened, but I know he had something about, had a really hot take about abortion and how something about black women getting abortions. And I didn't know what he was talking about, but I said, I don't really want to talk to you about this anymore. This is racist and it's dumb. So let's move on. And I pushed back, and he didn't like that either at the time.
So listen, the Kansas City Star also spoke to your brother. Your brother's name is Daniel Ludwig, and he said it seems like a bunch of mistakes in a row that resulted in a tragedy. I mean, a lot of mistakes all the way around. Unfortunately, if you look at the affidavit, there were actions taken that caused my grandpa's side isn't being reported. And he is saying that your grandfather is not racist. He doesn't believe that.
He can say that. I think he's running defense a little bit. I don't think he sees him for who he is.
Did your grandfather have a gun or more weapons in the house?
They were all over. Yes.
What do you mean they?
The guns were all over. He had them stashed in some spots and had a big locker full of them. But yeah, he was ready to defend his.
Okay, bro, fucking come on. You're gonna go on CNN. You're not gonna come on my show. What the fuck is this shit? Like, actually, that's kind of fucked up. You're gonna go on CNN and talk about your granddad, but not come on this broadcast? Really? What's up? What does Don Lemon have that I don't have? You know what I mean? I mean, it's actually fucked up. Person is doing a really good job, for the record, of like talking about a very serious issue. Talking about a very serious issue that you know, that his fucking own blood relative has you know, been involved with. Like, this takes ginormous balls. It's not the first time that someone in this community has like gone on CNN and spoken out against their fucking psychotic MAGA parents. Actually, it's the third time that has happened, where, you know, someone from this community has gone on CNN and talked about their MAGA parents, including the one dude who went and snitched on his January 6th dad. And then, of course, what's her... I can't remember her username right now, but our resident lesbian, whose unfortunately father passed away to COVID. Yeah, who was a COVID denier due to all the fucking insane shit that her dad was watching. Just Lane, yeah. America sucks, boys. That's just how it is, you know? And a lot of you know what your parents are like.
Home, as he would say.
Considering the recent history, I mean, is this a recent history that you found your grandfather? Is that why you pulled away from him? Has he always been this way, or is this something new?
I feel like he's been pretty conservative for a long time, which is fine. But feel like in the last 5 or 6 years, it's really ramped up. He was a huge Trump supporter, and between that and then the galvanizing that people have been feeling lately with politicians and ideologues co-signing, violence and domestic violence, domestic terrorism, and even pardoning people who murder other people for differing political beliefs. I feel like all that stuff has really ramped up his beliefs and radicalized him a little bit.
I'm just wondering, because we've been covering these, and there are usually, not always, there are warning signs. You feel like the warning signs were there. That's why I asked you if this is something that happened recently.
I believe so. The warning signs were there. I wasn't shocked when I heard the news. I believed it.
And he did live alone?
Up until recently, his wife lived there, but yes, he was living alone at the time.
Until recently, his wife lived there. She didn't live there.
She wasn't there at the time, no.
She wasn't there. Okay. What message do you have for Ralph Yarl and his family, Clint?
I'm proud of you, Ralph. I'm so sorry this happened to you. I understand you're an amazing kid, and I think you're going to grow up to be an amazing man. And you didn't do anything wrong. The outpouring of support that the country has shown to you, I think, says more than I ever could say. And I'm really thankful for Sean King for making this a national news story, getting the people getting out in the streets and demanding attention. And Ralph, you don't deserve to have your life fundamentally changed like you had it, and you deserve justice. And my family stands with you.
Have you reached out to the Yarls?
No. I don't really know how. I don't know how to do any of this stuff. So,
well, I think we'll make sure that they see this. I just want to know, what message do you have for your grandfather?
I really don't know what to say to him.
Maybe I was
I'm really
wrong.
sad that this happened. He didn't need to do this. This didn't have to happen. He didn't need to be scared of a young kid coming to his door at night. It's absurd. He needs to get his paranoia, and this isn't just for him too. A lot of people in the world, the paranoia and atomizing the society, it's going to lead to some really bad stuff. And we're not doing anything to fix it. We're just getting galvanized and staying at home alone.
Clint Ludwig, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
He deleted his profile because he's already getting ripped apart. Is he deleted his Twitter, but he interacted with one of your tweets in 2021? Oh, here. It's Clint Ludwig saying Kershaw makes some great knives as well. He tweeted at you a couple times for real, HasanAbi head. Yeah, I mean, I suspected it. If they're in the fucking replies of another person who's replying to a P.O. Box tweet. Who cares if he's a HasanAbi head? Why is this the topic? We're on Twitch. This is a tight-knit community. People are proud of the unfathomable amount of fucking balls that someone has. He deleted his Twitter today, but he interacted with one of your tweets in 2021. The unfathomable amount of fucking balls it takes to go on national television and correctly call out white supremacy and your own fucking grandfather who shot someone, and if someone from our community is doing something like that, I'm going to celebrate it. Like, why the fuck wouldn't I? Are you crazy? You know, we support you. You're doing a great job. You very clearly communicated many of the issues that led to your grandfather's further radicalization, while also simultaneously talking about like how normalized, how normative it is to have like white supremacist values like this. You know, that's incredible. I'm super fucking proud. You know what I mean? He was calm the entire time. He was coherent, and he did a wonderful fucking job. That's what it is. The reason why I do what I fucking do is so that there are people out there who change their opinions on certain things. You know what I mean? So that the message is spread further. You know what I mean? So yeah. Lol, just assuming he's a community member is such a wild, egotistical stretch. Yeah. I agree with you, 17-month subscriber, but I mean, we found out that that wasn't that was a stretch that turned into a lock. You know what I mean? Like, the only thing he didn't say is at the top of the hour there's a 3-minute ad break. And if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you can do for $5 or for free with the Twitch Prime. Like, if he hit Don Lemon with that, it would have been, that's it. This has happened multiple times, and every time they are, in fact, a HasanAbi head. Yeah. Doesn't matter. Anyway. Why is chat being weird and turning this into an attack on you is so fucking weird and selfish? Yeah, they are, because they're just turning around and being like, dude, it's fucking you're selfish and egotistical. Fuck you. When a lot of the stuff that he was saying, I've said many, many times. So I recognize a lot of his sentiment. So I made an assumption, and then it turned out to be true. I am very proud of people that can clearly communicate their perspective like this, even under the microscopic lens of like being on fucking television like this. Anyway. So, here's the 3-minute ad break now. All right. Let's continue.
Sure, thank you.
We're following a breaking news alert now. The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a transgender athlete ban for girls and women's sports teams. Let's get to Blake Easton at the WKRN.com alert desk.
Hey, good morning to you, Nikhil. Yeah, the Republican-led House passed this effort banning federally supported schools from allowing transgender athletes whose biological sex at birth was male to compete on women's sports teams. The 219 to 203 approved legislation in the House is unlikely to move any further in the Democrat-controlled Senate. Plus, the White House has already said it would veto it it. Supporters of the legislation say it's necessary to ensure competitive fairness. They say it's not fair for female athletes to compete against those whose gender identity does not match their assigned sex at birth. Opponents criticize the bill, saying they're attacking a group who's already in a vulnerable position. For breaking news around the clock, you can always go to WKRN.com.
I want to go back to Riley Gaines now. Riley, this is...
Wow. Thank God. Also, the Republican Party of Montana is refusing for Representative Zoe Zephyr to speak, the only trans representative, by the way, to speak on any bill. My light is on, and I'm ready to speak on behalf of constituents who would like me to do so. There was also talk of censoring her in a similar, in the same vein as like the Tennessee 3. Why don't they ever talk about trans men competing in men's sports? They don't care. They don't even care about trans women competing with cis women. They just care about like transphobia and promoting it. And it's an effective, probably the most effective avenue to start the transphobic conversations, because there is a dual component there. It's not just transphobia. It's also misogynistic takes, you know what I mean? There's also validity to some of the arguments with respect to like potentially having a competitive advantage. And if you fucking hate trans people, then you look at that and you go, that's indecent. If you hate trans people, and then you go, oh, well, that's actually happening because men just want to fucking fake it. You know what I mean? That's it. It is at the center of like the intersectionality of hate. Trans women are on the receiving end of that. These are all the very same people who absolutely fucking despise women's sports in general and make fun of it, but act like they care when they want to concern troll when it means that they can like shit on trans people publicly. My argument has always been the same. 1, I don't care. 2, you shouldn't care either. And 3, the reason why you shouldn't care is because no one is fucking faking being trans and doing HRT specifically so they can get like maybe a marginal competitive advantage. You should not care about this because trans women are not as dominant as you think they are. They're the only time you hear about trans women competing is when like one of them gets like 5th place, or sometimes, luckily enough, get like 1st place. Okay, if that was the case, the 40 total trans athletes in this goddamn country would be fucking ripping nonstop. Okay, and that's not the case. You don't hear about it. I don't care. You can say you're tripping all you want. Marginal, haha, you're so brain dead, holy shit. Sports is supposed to be unequal. Okay, stop saying bad takes. Stop saying you're tripping. Every single one of you are so hyper geared towards this fucking argument because you literally cannot comprehend that like it doesn't matter. Sports is not supposed to be pushed with this like weird boundaries on what is allowed and what is not. Height in basketball is not a consideration you have. Messi taking HGH to overcome a hormone deficiency is not something that you ever think about with respect to like why it's allowed. LeBron James being 6'8" and having the grace of a fucking ballerina on the goddamn courts is not something that you ever think about. You don't make an advocacy for 6 foot and under basketball leagues. You only make an advocacy to change the makeup of like women's sports only when it means trans women might compete every now and then. That's it. That's it. You're advocating for equality of outcome. I don't care. Even if trans women were like profoundly dominant athletes, okay? Even if they have genuine fucking, like, even if they had genuine skill, okay? Even if they were fucking awesome, like across the board, much better than cis women at these athletic endeavors, which is not the case, okay? The jury's out on that. That's not a 100%. every time you fucking talk about this shit, you literally immediately think about like a person who is, that's a trash take, I'm out. Okay, dude, if you can't fucking listen to a person that's giving you something that you haven't heard before and be more open-minded about this kind of perspective, then you're the biggest pussy on the fucking planet, okay? You don't even need to take HRT, okay? You don't even need to get a fucking vagioplasty. You're just one gigantic pussy, okay? You hear a little bit of something that you consider to be controversial, and it shakes you to the fucking core that you're like, I can't stand hearing this. Oh my God. It's so fucking annoying. It's like so sad. You're such a fucking pathetic loser that you can't even hear anything. You can't hear a fucking argument that doesn't correspond to your worldview. Especially coming from someone who himself had transphobic opinions, like, and has talked about his understanding of trans issues. Like, this could be a fucking educational moment for you where you're like, oh, God forbid. God fucking forbid, dude. Holy shit. You are so unfunny, my dude. Me, I'm crying. That's what you sound like. This is what you fucking sound like. You're such a bitch, dude. You are such a fucking giant bitch. You're not funny. Oh, it hurts my feelings when you advocate for trans people. Meh. You are such a spineless fucking cuck. Okay? My point is this. Even if trans women have this like overwhelming physical advantage, which they do not, okay? It's not like it is absolutely 100% that like a trans woman will always defeat a cis woman in athletic endeavors no matter what fucking happens. This doesn't mean that like women are this doesn't mean that like men on average don't have physical advantages over women on average. Of course they do, depending on what field we're talking about. We're not talking about, you know, gymnasts or whatever, but if we're talking about like, you know, especially combat sports and things of that nature, yes, men, cis men have advantages biologically in comparison, on average, in comparison to cis women, okay? That's it. Everybody understands that. No one is fucking arguing against it. My point is beyond that. My point is this. Even if trans women, okay, who were assigned male at birth for an extended period of time, got some bone density out of having more testosterone course through their veins in their adolescence, okay? Even if they get that kind of advantage, if you want to consider that, and you thought that they were literally as dominant as the way Fox News presents it, okay? Not because they're like playing fucking pickleball in an Oklahoma facility, but like literally we're just like in the WNBA dunking on motherfuckers, okay? Even if that was happening, I still believe that that is fine, okay? I believe that that is fine. The only reason why you can't comprehend that is because you find it to be unnatural, because you find trans people to be unnatural and bad and wrong. Their existence to be bad and wrong. That's it. So cheating is fine. Like, you make it seem like it's cheating. Dude, please, dude. If you think it's cheating, do HRT, okay? If you personally think it's cheating, do HRT. Get literally fucking yelled at for existing for the rest of your goddamn life. Be on the fucking verge of suicide. Be fearful that you can't even fucking go to the grocery store and pick up groceries without someone being like, fuck you, okay, and try to kill you. And then maybe, just maybe, it's not a 100% given, you might actually win the fucking varsity swim meet. Suck my dick, dude. Nobody does this. It's the same exact principle behind how homophobes would say being gay is a choice. And then they would also simultaneously say it's somehow, even if it is a choice, which it's not, it's a bad thing. Okay? Is it? Suck a cock then. Choose to suck a cock. Put a dick in your ass. Okay? If it's a choice and you're making it, okay, go ahead. Take some HRT. I would love to see, you know, how pretty you become after 2.5 years and 3.5 years of fucking taking HRT after undergoing rigorous psych evaluations over and over again. Okay? This person was not a top athlete in the division, in the male division, but dominant in the female. How can you argue that? Who is the person we're talking about? Who? What are you talking about? Like what? First of all, I haven't even brought up an example of an athlete. You are literally arguing against an example that you think I'm going to bring up. I have not. I'm just simply talking about trans athletes competing with cis athletes in general. There is no specific person that I have discussed. Okay? And you just, shadow box with someone that you made up? Now, having said that, you are missing the point. I don't care if a above average assigned male at birth athlete is performing significantly better as a trans woman. Okay? Once they undergo HRT, they're a trans woman, they come out and they're competing against cis women. I don't care. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Okay? I don't. Was thinking like Leah Thomas. That's a wonderful fucking take. Leah Thomas got 5th place, was that fucking fraud that now has made a career out of complaining about that. Leah Thomas got fucking owned by 4 other cis women. There you go. Name the fucking first place winner in that competition without Googling in the next 10 seconds. You can't. Name the second place competitor without Googling it. You can't. Name the third place. Name the fourth place. You can't. She got 5th fucking place. You think that's dominant? You have been duped into thinking that Leah Thomas is this like dominant fucking athlete. She's not. She's not. Wasn't that girl arguing that they tied a competition? Yeah. 5th place, motherfucker. There were 4 other cis women. It's not like 1, 2, 3, and 4 were fucking trans women too. Yeah. You couldn't even answer what I said. You don't know who the first place is. You don't know who the second place is. You don't know who the third place is. You don't know who the 4th place is. All of those are cis women. Why? 5th place tie. And this dumbass can't stop fucking chirping. Riley Gaines. God damn. Yeah. And the other part of this is that Leah Thomas actually, before her transition, was a pretty decent fucking swimmer. She was ranked 32nd in the nation before transition, only dropped to under 500 during her transition. That's the other reality. Leah Thomas was a better swimmer when before she actually fucking underwent HRT. She nerfed herself. Okay. And now she's like losing. Now she's losing to cis women. So what happened? Yeah, let's be also, this is the other side of it. And I will never, ever, ever forgive any of you fucking freak anti-trans perverts for making me learn about the NCAA female division of swimming. I hate you. I hate you to the fucking very bottom of my heart. Not even because you're transphobic. Okay? Transphobia is fucked up. But you know what is more fucked up than that? Making me learn about competitive NCAA female swimming. Making me learn about competitive NCAA male swimming is fucked up. But holy fuck! I could have done without having a single piece of this information in my mind for the rest of my goddamn life. And now I have to know about all this shit. Fuck you. I hate you so much. This trans woman got 5th place and motherfuckers never shut the fuck up. Same with the same lady who was in the UFC, the one that like Joe Rogan constantly talks about. She won one fucking fight, dog. One. And then she got her shit pushed in nonstop. Fallon Fox got owned over and over again by cis women. No one knows this because Joe Rogan only talked about the one time that she won. So now it doesn't even fucking matter. She was never in the UFC. Okay, whatever. The one fucking time. Oh. She was 5-1 in her career and retired. She lost once in 5. Was it the other lady who got fucking owned then? Was it? There's one of the 2 trans fighters that people talk about all the time actually got fucking owned. And you're making it seem like 5 is an amateur with no fucking, it's not even a knockout if I'm not mistaken. You're making it seem like she was fucking throwing daggers. Okay? Remember that lady being pissed off because a trans woman was doing well on Jeopardy? Yeah. That was also insane. Anyway. It's like, what are you trying to say? It's always like weird turfs too, who literally will be like, oh, this is a trans woman. That's why they have a, what, advantage? Are you saying that men are just smarter than women inherently? Like, what kind of fucking dumb shit is this? They'd be like, she's a man. Anyway. It's incredibly rare and it isn't worth the lives. It is costing to have this discussion. Exactly. The irony is that there have been like what? 56 fucking bills that have passed or slated to pass in state legislatures that range all the way from barring trans girls from competing in high school athletics all the way to college, that range from that to like consenting adults are no longer able to get HRT in the state without criminal punishments. You know what I mean? And it's insane. It's completely insane. It's just the Trojan horse. Okay. At some point it might not be rare. It's bullshit. That's a bullshit fucking argument. Okay. I don't get how top 5 is bad, even if you consider differences in the time. Dude, what are you saying? Leah Thomas's fucking record before she went under HRT was faster than Leah Thomas's record after HRT. The reason why she started when she was competing in the men's division, after she started taking HRT, was like her record started getting owned. Her record started getting eviscerated. And yeah, her times, not records. And another thing that's like frustrating about this, here. Laurel Hubbard, transgender weightlifter, exits Olympic competition early after failing on all 3 attempts. Remember when this happened? Laurel Hubbard, a transgender weightlifter for New Zealand, was knocked out of the women's 87+ kilogram competition early after failing on all 3 of her attempts. You know what they said about this? They said she faked it. They said she actually failed deliberately so that trans women can compete. I remember. They either said, A, she actually failed deliberately. She threw so that like trans women can fucking compete in athletic competitions in the future. Or they literally said she took the spot from a cis woman who could have performed better than her. And it's like, that's not the case. She beat everybody else to get there. What the fuck do you mean? Statistically, if trans women were biologically identical to cis women, they would win some percentage of sporting events, and the amount of sporting events being won by trans women is way lower than their prevalence in society. Is such an insane argument. Like, if trans women were so dominant in the way that like a lot of transphobic people represent in this conversation, they would be owning nonstop. You wouldn't have to go to like a fucking pickleball tournament in Oklahoma to like draw up an argument of like a trans woman actually performing really well in athletic competitions. That's it. It's crazy. Cis women usually have higher T than trans women. It's actually insane that people think they have an argument. Yeah, when they find out about that, though, they change the argument real quick to bone density. Like, that's it. There are certain differences. Obviously, there are going to be certain, like, bodily differences between a trans woman and a cis woman, okay? Some of which are actually worse off for the for particular competitions that trans women might engage in with respect to cis women. Of course there's differences. But it doesn't matter. Yo, Hasan, it's Gabriel. You reacted to my song Sassy Shooters. I have information you'd like to know. Like what? Holy fuck. Account created in 2008. Jesus Christ. I highly doubt that. That seems incredibly sus. Like, anyone who thinks that someone is going to, like, become trans, quote unquote, become trans, specifically to win, like, high school or college swim meets is fucking delusional, okay? It's the same level of delusion that people have for claiming that, like, trans women claim that they're women specifically so they can go into women's bathrooms and do rapes. It's like, bro, if someone is a fucking rapist, they don't give a shit about the sign that says women or men outside of the goddamn bathroom. Are you out of your fucking mind? Like, it blows my mind. I don't understand how someone says that. Someone verify with this chatter, one of the mods, if you can. What he's talking about. The irony, of course, for the record, the irony, of course, let me tell you, is that if trans women were as dominant as the way that they fucking, as the way that these people claim that they are, then trans women competing against cis women in athletic competitions would unironically draw more eyeballs to the athletic endeavors and would literally lead to more, you know, advertising dollars, more people watching, even if it's for the sake of spectacle, which, by the way, it's not the case. Okay? And that is the hilarious part of this conversation. But, like, no one cares. No one personally fucking cares about women's sports. That's the real issue here. No one cares about trans people in general either. And that's why, you know, these people feel comfortable doing this to Representative Zoe Zephyr in Montana's 100th House District. Okay. Here's Musk responding to our story and confirming that he's paying for some accounts to be verified. Have confirmed that LeBron, who has 52 million followers, has said since he won't pay for verification, was emailed by Twitter an employee with the offer to have his sub comped on behalf of Elon Musk. James did not accept, but his account is showing he paid anyway. Here is Musk responding to our story and confirming that he's paying for some accounts to be verified. Oh my God, he's the most cucked man in America. Holy shit. Oh! What